I've been listening to music ever since I can remember. And then one day, I heard a song that hurt me back. So I turned myself into a tape, recording stories from people who made my life sound better. Because every song is a conversation. Waiting to begin. I think one of the mandatory parts of growing up is having a mind-blowing conversation with a close friend or two, typically lying on your back and looking at the stars, about stuff like, what is our purpose here? Why are we here? Are there other life forms out there? What does the universe look like from outside the universe? And so on and so forth. Our guest here today captures in his music the innocent magic of such conversations. We have with us here today the iconic guitarist of one of India's most accomplished contemporary global fusion bands, kARNATRiix, John Antony. Welcome to Songversations.
Hi, welcome. Nice meeting you guys.
John, it's immense honor to be sitting next to you and talking like this. More so because even if we did this show 30 years back, you'd still be invited. How have you managed to stay relevant for so many years? What do you attribute your success to?
I just forgot to grow up. Maybe it's just that. So I'm just still there. I think it's the whole, how do you call it? I keep thinking about it because every day you are just studying something new. It's music because there's so much. Like lately what I've been doing is I've been doing online courses now to get better.
Teach people from all over the world.
Yeah, no, I'm also learning from other. I do teach, I do have a few students from Germany, from the Dinkelspool School of Music, where I took a master class last time when I went there. But then the other part is, because I'm learning from a lot of other guitarists also, There's a lot of online courses, and you get to see from great guitarists like Alan Hines, a lot of other jazz guitarists like from John Scofield, from Scott Henderson. So every day you get a new lesson. It's suddenly like you don't know how to play the guitar anymore, So it's just, I think so that keeps you in that place where every day you have to be, and that's the energy I think that keeps you going.
You make it sound so effortless.
I don't know.
Jonathan, I want to go back to your beginning, your formative years. When was the first time you realized that guitar was your voice?
Okay. And that's a nice thing. Actually, first, in the days when I was young, actually, we had only radios at home. So, I come very, very long back. There was no TVs, nothing. Okay. So, and then we used to have only this channel called Radio Ceylon, which used to play Western music those days. And that was on a Saturday evening. And I had to see that even on Saturday evening, usually my dad used to be a professor in the college, so he had to go for his activities and all that. So that's the time, because music was taboo at home at that time. So, and while listening to this, I still remember I heard something like this. I heard, something this kind of. I heard this, and I think it's just that something pulled me inside there, and I didn't know, and I knew that that's what I wanted to do, but I didn't know what that was.
Something like a Zen moment.
Yeah, but I knew that that's what, something pulled me, it was actually Carlos Santana playing Jingo.
Yeah. That's why.
Yeah, and then I started looking out for this, and then I found out from one of my uncle's friend told me like, there's a band out there. There are two bands in Cochin, which used to be Hijackers and Elite Aces.
Yes.
Yeah, and that they were having a show in Woodlands Hotel. And when I went, my mother was a singer. She used to be a nice singer, actually, party singer, not a trained singer. So
But she sang English songs too.
Yeah, she used to sing. She used to sing a lot of Malayalam songs actually. And then, we went for the show there, and actually one of the bands played this song, because everybody was playing only cover tunes those days. I think Hijackers was playing. They were playing the Carlos Santana tune, and okay, there's somebody who's doing that kind of stuff, and I want to do that. And that's how I got to go to Calaburn, and I started in Calaburn. I was flagged off and by Emil Isaac actually. Yeah, so that's how I started.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want to talk about this phase of yours, because I know that there's this time when you were so consumed by music that you flunked your 9th grade.
Yeah.
And what happened at home? What was the atmosphere? That must have been like the first artistic setback for you.
Yeah, because I think till then I was pretty much there within the
confines of acceptance. And
yeah, well, like there are 70 students in your class and you're almost 10, and that's pretty cool. But I picked up the guitar in 9th standard and I flunked.
What was the atmosphere at home? How did they respond?
It was hell, definitely. You see, my dad was in education. My dad was actually, he was in the Air Force first. And then we were actually in Pune in 64. He came down, he finished his Air Force tenure, and then he came down. He was professor in St. Albert's College and teaching telecommunication out there, and also main professor in St. Paul's College. And you can imagine a lecturer's son. And that
the
too,
Mr. Uptights.
Exactly, yeah. And I was also a hockey player at that time, so I was playing for the state. So I did play for the Kerala schools at that time. So both together, so it was like...
You've always held a stick, no?
Yeah.
Be it this or the hockey stick. What happened there? Why did you drop off?
Where from?
Hockey.
I think... I don't know, somewhere down the line after that, maybe this stick started feeling much more comfortable,
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could express more stuff on this without actually doing it practically.
Yeah.
You can get your violence out of this. You could tell a person that you love that person, you hate that person, you want to hit anybody, you can do it with it, but you don't have to practically hit somebody, okay? You can do it while you're playing, okay?
John Antony, your sound has been sort of distinctly universal while being quintessentially Indian. In the way that you've used Indian scales and ragas with a sort of Western harmony.
Yeah.
When did you realize that this was the sound that you're working towards? Was this before kARNATRiix, or this took birth after you met certain musicians who were...
No, this is... it's much before kARNATRiix. I think that seed was planted by maybe while I was playing with Roots itself. I used to have a band in Chennai called Roots.
Please, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Yeah. So there also we were doing I think that is the second band that I played that was doing own compositions. Before that, there was another band in Trivandrum called Barn Krugers where we used to do our own music, So, but then that was more of, again, influenced by the rock section itself. But when I went to Chennai and with Shivamani and with Rahman and Jojo, who's no more actually. So when we started doing it, then we had this, naturally from the time from Trivandrum to there, it would have been another 5 years, so you're growing up and then you're meeting different musicians. And we used to have, I think we were the first fusion band in Chennai with TVG sir.
Yeah.
TV
Gopal.
Yeah. Because at that time, Rahman was Dilip. He used to be learning.
Kadri sir also, I think.
Sorry?
Kadri.
Yeah, Kadri and Rahman were all TVG sir's student at that time. Yeah. So he wanted to do a show because TVG show is actually one of the pioneers of this. I don't know if you know that he has toured with 4 of them have toured. There is George Harrison,
George Harrison, yeah.
TVG,
Yeah.
Allah Raka, and Ravi Shankar.
Yeah.
Imagine 4 of them toured, not now, but 40, 50 years back they toured, you know.
Like 4 guys walking across Abbey Road.
Yeah, so I think TVG sir had this, he was one of the pioneers of fusion music there, even though I think it was all started by Uday Shankar in the beginning, Ravi Shankar's uncle. Like he's the one who really started this whole concept of fusion music. And plus, then I got to play also with El Shankar and his band.
Yeah.
So
Who turned into a mentor and sort of
definitely,
godfather for you?
definitely, because
You want to tell us about the association you had with him?
yeah, it was after TV's thing. It's just one day because I used to be playing with Vaidi. Vaidi is his elder brother, who's no more actually, L. Vaidinathan, whom I met also through my guru and mentor M.G. Radhakrishnan here in Trivandrum, because Vaidi had come here to actually, he came here to arrange for a movie, a Malayalam movie. He arranged one of M.G. Radhakrishnan's movie at that time. Even Manish Chitratar was the same thing, like El Vaidi doing it, and you know. This was in the beginning stage, and that's how I met Vaidi. And I used to, when I went to Chennai, when I basically shifted to Chennai, I used to be playing for Vaidi, and then one day he called me and he said, like, his brother's come down. And it's this guy from the God band called Shakti who's out there, and you know, like, I met him, and first he said about, okay, he wanted a guitarist, so then he was asking me what was happening, and then I told him about the band roots, and he said, okay, then fine, then let's have the whole band, because I think he knew Dilip's father also, Rahman's father, not Rahman's father, and so that was amazing. So we got to do our concert out there, 2 concerts that time. That was Roots was backing, El Shankar and at that time his wife Caroline, and they used to have a band called Epidemics.
Epidemics. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were actually the backing lineup for the Indian leg of Epidemics.
Yeah.
So I think for about 3 or 4 years, whenever he used to come, we used to be playing, and then I continued being very much close with him for at least another 4 or 5 years, because I knew just hanging out with him I could learn a lot of stuff, you know, because I'm not a trained classical musician.
Sure.
Yeah, and I really started missing it because I knew these other guys out there were all trained classical musicians who I was playing with, you know. So and there's this, I don't know, there's this beautiful story, like while we were sitting and practicing, he used to be saying like, Johnny, I can't hear you, you know. And Dilip used to, I keep saying Dilip because those days it was Dilip.
People don't know.
Yeah, he used to be bringing my volume up and bringing it down on, you know, the other volumes down and all that, and trying to push the volume, you know. And again after 2-3 days, because we had about a week's practice, and he again said, I can't hear you. So I remember Rama telling Shiva, you know, like, reduce your volume because you can't hear, because I have a habit of playing with less volume also. And that went on, but the next trip when he came, it took me some time. Next trip he came after 1.5 years, and then the moment I plugged in and played, he said, now I can hear you. The difference was, I don't know whether you got what I was trying to say, like, because I was definitely trying to impress him when he came the first time a lot with learning all the John McLaughlin licks and trying to play exactly, which you can never do, okay? So you're just trying to do that, and then it took some time after he left for me to understand, like, what he was saying was entirely a much more deeper thing, you know.
Yeah.
So then when I just played what I was comfortable with, playing what I normally play, he said, yeah, I hear you.
Do you remember any of that? Any of what you played?
Epidemics time. It's been a long time. It's been 20 years.
Which is why you want to hear them.
Yeah, oh my God. I don't think I'll be able to do justice to any of the. Okay, that's the first piece we played. It's a violin solo. I was just doing the backing for that. Yeah. And he really suddenly take me back to that.
Time hop.
Wow. Yeah, that's.
I'm glad you brought up Roots, Jonathan, because I remember this was this one band that shook the whole scene in Chennai back then.
I think it's just because we were the only band who did our own music,
Your own
dared
stuff.
to do our
Correct.
own stuff. That's why we didn't get shows actually. In
Because
those
people
days,
wanted familiar stuff.
yeah, I think when was that? That is. Incidentally, I have a recording of that. Okay.
You do.
I do have a recording. If you guys can play it for the show, I can give you a small clip of it, and you can play it for the show. And
Definitely, we'll take it back.
Yeah, because it still sounds so fresh. And Rahman recorded it on a small little tape recorder, and you listen to the quality of what he's done with that, you know.
And your epic association with Rahman sort of began with Roots and probably continues till date, right? Across films. And
Yeah.
albums.
We might.
What do you know of him that a lot of people still don't know?
He's okay. One thing I need to be telling is he's still the same person, which I find, which I don't find. I have played for a lot of music directors.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean I also played for great LP also. Okay, like Lakshmi and Pyar. I also played. I'm saying I played from those seniors also, and I've seen music directors within doing 2 movies and then they don't recognize you. They don't know who you are. Till then it'll be like, sir, please play for my song.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they have this, what do you call this, this elephant gold chains and all that, and they'll be hanging, they can't walk with the weight of it, and they become,
The weight of themselves.
yeah. And then they don't recognize you, they don't know who you, oh yeah, it's like that. But Rahman, after getting his Oscars and Grammys and everything, he's just the same guy. He's the only music director. I think the only other music director I knew who was always the most grounded person was John Antony.
Yeah.
Same, it's unbelievable. Because if you look at what Rahman has achieved compared to Johnson, I'm not comparing anybody. I'm saying achievement. Like internationally, he's become, and everybody knows him now. On the planet.
Biggest messenger of Indian music everywhere, right?
And he's just the same guy. Which is definitely very, very strange. I don't know how can somebody be like that, It's not possible. It's not definitely normally humanly possible. I've seen so many music directors. They get an award and they get something, and you can see the hangover of it,
The changes are very visible.
No, but he's the same guy. He goes and he just his blue jeans and his white kurta and his eta or whatever it is. It's the same thing. And you wonder whether he's the same person, is that another Rahman? Is this a different guy which he's sending you to behave to you like this? Yeah, that's a difference.
And between then and say a couple of years back when you worked on Vinay Thandi Varuvaya, which is probably your last feature film.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
What changes did you see in yourself vis-a-vis your association with Rahman?
I'm honestly telling you, it was just like how I played for his, I used to be playing for, I think the beginning stage for all his advertisement sections, before he did Roja. So it was Roots actually always playing everything there. Roots was playing everything out there. So it was just like that.
Is there any track of Roots?
It was a difference of so many years, because I remember once when he called me for a movie, I was playing for somebody else in Bangalore. Another time he called me, I was playing in Bombay. So I was not free to come play. And the only movie that I played for him was Vinay Thandi Varuvaya. Okay. So he called, he said, no, I need you for this. And please.
Do you remember how that took shape? Because the album is very, very close to my heart. Because I thought it was sort of, it set the whole benchmark for production value back then.
I think it's one of the one of the best productions.
Yes.
Yeah. I really loved my classical guitar sound on that, because I've never heard my guitar sound like that. It's the same guitar that I played on so many other. And actually when I was playing that track, I was thinking like, how is he going to be fitting a melody into it? Because it was basically a jazz it's a kind of jazz progression which you normally don't have on Indian basic Indian film music. This kind of stuff you don't
bluesy
get.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the visuals screeching past.
And I was wondering, like, how is he going to be putting but when he fixed that melody on there, it sounded
What does he tell you when he gets you on board for a project like this?
nothing.
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 Just do your thing.
Yeah, it's there. He's given a template of stuff that has to be there, so you just work it out, and he knows, and he just says, okay, that's the kind of pattern which I did. Okay, fine. So, and actually, it's only when somebody else analyzed it that I knew that somebody saying there's something on 3 going here, and it's not that, it's just like the feel that we got over there. I'm saying, okay, this is got the feel there, and we just did it. And it was only the guitar and I think only the harp in that. Only the
And in the
string
film,
guitar.
it turned into something else.
Yes.
You know? This is incredible because I still remember music sort of came up above like a character.
Exactly,
In
yeah.
the film.
That movie was.
Yeah, which sort of justifies what you do. Right? Unless it does that, why do you do what you do?
Exactly, yeah. The production was really music. Everybody keeps, I think in the industry also they say like one of his best produced.
Yes.